Hi, this is CG Soul here. So I've recently pulled beta and I'm super excited to try her out. As you've seen from my previous review, I rated her 10 out of 10 because she is an insane water unit. Alright, let's dive into it. Here is my mono water deck. And here, as you see, I've placed beta right next to Summer Ilya on purpose. This is because beta has a passive that left adjacent units, she buffs her damage by 150%. So by placing her right next to, in the right side of Summer Ilya, this will buff up Summer Ilya's damage by 150. And also, I equipped True Equipment for beta because of her passive, giving autofill Arch Gauge by 3 per second. Here, I'm not really focused much about her art, but instead of her true art, which reduces all allies damage taken and autofills art gauge for all the allies. And also her super art, which increases all allies magic damage times the water units count. So it's pretty good buff for Summer Ilya. Okay, so let's try this out. This is a quick AI that I just built. It's just only for the test. It's not perfect AI. It's just like a simple testing AI. So I just want to see how well beta can do in the Nova Crest. So here we go. Might not be perfect because it's still testing, but let's see how well she can go through. And here's Beta's true art. And of course, Summer Ilya in this AI will only spam super art. That's it. Just super art only. And Beta would alternate from true art and her super art. This will give her a sustained damage reduction to the team and also an art gauge increase, as well as her super art constantly buffing Ilya on her magic damage. Since we got 4 full mono water, this should buff her good damage of 320%. And of course, Shiro in this term would only be using his art and super art. Same as Beta, he will just alternate back and forth. And same as this all unit, Hoka will also alternate with super art and true art. So as you know, it's important in this run of Nova Crest for Hoka to use his true art because it gives a debuff to the enemy, reducing their crit resistance. And this will end up giving tons of damage, and of course this stage is what takes the longest. So far it looks pretty good, you know, the damage reduction is there constantly, Shiro's shield keeps the units safe, and as well as Beta keep buffing Summer Ilya with her super art and passive staying in adjacent to her. This battle should be much faster and easier. Remember guys, this AI is just created. I have not tested anything, it's just literally the first run of this AI. There could be a lot of downs, there could be a lot of part that needs to be fixed, but overall it seems like it's working pretty well. Hoka alternates from True Art and Super Art. Summer Ilya just spams Super Art. and so was Shiro, alternating between art and super art. And Beta, of course, like I said, alternating from true art to super art. That was a quick 50% threshold. And what I put on this AI was not using their art of Summerelia and Shiro when the boss is using the art, because obviously it'll miss. Summerelia super arts. Once again, Beta buffs up water units damage with her super art. Here, this would be the last super art that will kill the boss. And there's damage reduction. And shield coming out from Shiro. And here, oh, that was a very smooth run. No units died, their health stayed max health most of the time except for the last, when Celia uses her skill to attain one of the unit. That was a fairly easy run. There's definitely some of the AIs that I could fix in order to get this better, but knowing that this was just literally a test run and it actually worked pretty decently, I don't think there's really much for me to change in the AI apart from a couple things that I noticed. But yes, overall, Beta is a decent unit, especially when you pair up with Shiro. Her damage reduction plays the majority of the role here in reducing the Dennis damage, and Shiro's shield keeping the team alive. And having, of course, her passive and super art to buff up water units and magic damage for Summerelia, I feel like this is a pretty decent team for Water Mono. Here, our star player, Beta. She was doing great. And the true star here on Beta was her true art that reduced of all damage taken by 40% and all art gauge by 5 to all allies, especially with her super art that buffs magic damage. Since we were full mono, that was max 320%, and left adjacent unit for 150% to Summerelia was great. And her true equipment for 3 art per second was another good sustain. Overall, I'm super satisfied with Beta. I knew she was gonna be the great unit, I knew she was gonna be one of the top units. Thanks for watching guys, and see you later. Adios.